Alright, good morning craps fans. This is Scott from Paradise Craps. Back at you for a quick session and an update on my trip yesterday to Victory Casino Cruise Lines. So it was a little more challenging than I would have wanted, and it was all my own doing, so I have nobody to blame but myself. So I was using the do-we-don't, same exact strategy that I've been rolling out for a while now, and I was up $113, I think, 103, no, I think it was like 113 at the end of 1 hour. But instead of walking away like I should have, at that point I think we were down to like 2 shooters. So at the beginning there was like 4 shooters plus myself, and then it whittled down, and at that point there was like 2 other shooters besides myself. So I'm like, well, let me see if I can get some more money for the dealers. And sure enough, and I was only betting on myself. I never bet on any of the other rollers, shooters. Didn't really have to. The dice was going around pretty fast. So I got knocked off my point. So I hit the point, and I immediately went to a lay 4 for $50, which I shouldn't have done. I should have waited for a 4, but I didn't. And then I got knocked off the 4 for 50. I went out for 150. I got knocked off the 4 again for 150, and then I hit the point, and I'm like, I was at that point, I'm like, shoot, down 200. So I went ahead and went out for 250. So I went from up, 113-ish, something like that. And now I'm all of a sudden, I can see my stack down to almost nothing. Put a 250 lay 4 out there, and that would have been $400 whack basically if I lost that one. But I didn't. I actually was lucky, and I rolled a 7. So I got paid on that one, which basically took me back to 500 plus a little. So I bought in for the 500. We started rolling about 11:35, and so again I was back to my 500 plus a little bit. So then I just went back to the strategy. So again, this was after an hour. So at 2 hours and 15 minutes, I was back up, and I was up to more than I was when I made that mistake chasing the 4. I wouldn't call it making a mistake. The mistake was that I didn't wait for a 4, that I got knocked off my don't pass lay odds on one of the numbers. I don't remember what it was, probably a 5 or 9. And immediately went out with the lay 4, right? So instead of waiting for a 4. But anyway, I got back up, and I was positive. So I did one more lay 4, $51. I won that one. I told the dealer, keep the quarter for you. I'm taking the rest. Color me up. So they colored me up for $201 at 2 hours and 15 minutes, basically. So anyway, it was longer than I wanted to stay at the table. It was all by my own doing. It was my fault for pushing my luck, trying to get that one more win after I had already hit my win goal at the 1 hour mark. But anyway, a successful day at the table ultimately. Same dealers, everybody was really friendly. The box was friendly, no issues whatsoever. It was a very light day, and I guess when I asked my casino host about that, he said because it's Mother's Day weekend and the weekend was going to be pretty busy, that was fairly typical that they had a late Friday. But so anyway, in for 500, out for 701. Very happy with that. So that was the 3rd time. I went back and looked at my spreadsheet. That was the 3rd time playing this strategy. I've had other strategies that I played there with some win, some loss, success. But anyway, for this strategy, this was the 3rd time, and 3 wins. So that's good. That's a good number. Happy with that. Very happy with the strategy. Okay, so anyway, that's my trip report. Again, the boat leaves they start boarding a little after 10. The boat leaves at 11. They start gambling at 11:30. I got 11:35 on my watch, I think, when we actually started rolling. And it usually comes in at 3:30. Yesterday, they didn't stop the casino action till like 3:40, which was about 10 minutes later than usual. And I just chalked that up to the fact that they didn't have that many people there, so they were trying to get that little bit extra before they came back in. So anyway, I know it's a boring strategy, but I'll take a boring winning strategy every day of the week and twice on Sunday. It was interesting because Leon was there, who's always there on the weekend. But anyway, he and I had a nice conversation before we started playing, and he was giving me his philosophy. And he's been playing since he was like 13, you know, and he's about my age, probably a little older. But it's just interesting to hear the philosophies of different craps players and how they espouse to following the math. But in reality, they're really not following the math. So it's interesting, you know, how people think that, but they really don't. But super nice guy. And he... So his big thing when he and I were talking was he likes the pass line. And I understand why he likes the pass line. You know, with the pass line, you're going to win on those 7s and 11s. The seven come out 7s and 11s, which we know we see a lot of come out 7s. So he was playing that. The problem was when he put his bets out on the table, and he did 2 come bets. That was his thing. So he had this pass line for 15, come bet 1, come bet 2. So he was out there for 45 pretty much every time. So when a 7 came, you know, unless it was on the come out, which it did, you know, and every time it would come out, I'd go, and that's why you're on the pass line. Got it. But he was getting decimated because those damn 7s. He'd get out there on his 2 come bets and get wiped out. So, you know, he bought in for like 300. He had 200 in his pocket. But, you know, it doesn't take too many $45 wipeouts to really put a dent in your bankroll. So... and then there was another guy, John, and he had a really interesting toss, a really interesting grip, I should say. His toss was not very consistent, but his grip was very interesting. I'd never seen it before, so I'm going to try practicing that at some point and see if I have any success with it. But so, all right, so basically, again, just reinforce the fact that the do-we-don't strategy, and I know a lot of people can't play it, but if you can play it, it is a damn solid strategy. I mean, you know, and I'm really happy with it. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm not moving off of it. I'm not changing anything. But what I do want to try is I want to try the what would Waylon do again, which is the $5,000 bankroll, same exact strategy. So again, I would expect that at that higher bankroll, so $5,000 bankroll looking for $1,000, just like our $500 bankroll looking for $100. So to me, it should be 100% scalable. And I don't know why I failed last time. And it's got to be just the size of the bets, you know, and I'm not following the strategy. That's the only thing I can think of. But I'm going to try it again. Anyway, so yep, it was a good day. You know, it's always a long day because you're out there so long. It'll be much nicer when I can just go to my local casino. All right, so there's 2,000. 3,000, 4,000, 4,500, 5,000. All right, and then we'll take 20. We'll take 100 out. There's 100, and we'll take 100 in red. 1 stack. Oh, and I got a lammer in there. That's funny. All right. Yeah, I went with 10 lammers. I came back with 10 lammers. That's always a good thing. All right, so we got 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 4,500, 5,000, less 100. And there we go. All right, so let's try this at the what would Waylon do level. So all we're going to do is add a 0 to our do-we-don't. See if we can make it happen. All right, so $15 normally, so we're going to do 150, 150. 150, 150. And I couldn't play this on Victory because they have a $300 max bet limit. 150, Scott, not 250. All right, so we got 150, 150. There we go. Coming out. And it is 12, 9, 7. Come out 7, nothing. 8. All right, point is 8. And all we're going to be doing is counting here. So let's go 400, sorry, 100, 100, 100. All right, and then we'll count just the way I was counting yesterday. Actually, let's start from the inside out. There we go. Okay, now we're rolling. 6. Yeah, a lot of people walked up to the table, put their money down, and walked away losers. I don't know. I wasn't looking that closely, so they may have walked away. A couple of them may have walked away winners, but I guarantee the bulk of them did not. 7 out. All right. That was roll number 5, so now we'll reset. Here we go. And we got to come out 7. And we got a 9, neater. All right, so we're on the 9. And we'll start our counting. All right, so normally that would be $15 lay odds, so we'll do $150. And this is going to go towards the dealer. It's going to be on this side like that. All right, here we go. Roll number 2, 7 out. All right, so we're done counting, and we're off the 9. So 15 pays 10, so 150 is going to pay 100. So there's our first $100 winner there. All right, so leave that there. This goes back in our rack. We are coming out. Looking for 1,000. 6 is the point. And again, there's absolutely no reason this shouldn't play exactly the same. It's just I got to get used to the larger denominations and not screw stuff up. All right, so we're on the 6, and all we're going to do is count on the 6. No additional money at risk. We got a 10. And we got a 6 point hit. All right. No problema. And we're coming out on a 9, 63. All right, so that's roll number 4. We're on the 9. It's going to be 150 lay odds on the 9. That. Here we go. Roll number 5 is an 11. All right, so now we're locked and loaded as far as 5 rolls. So now if we get a 4, we'll press our luck on that. And there's an 8. And there's a 6. And there's a 5. And there's a 10. Yeah, Leon, he's a nice guy, super nice guy. And he's there every weekend pretty much. And it'd been a month. Oh, there's our 4, okay. Been a month since I've been there. All right, so now we're going to go out for a $500 lay 4. Normally it would be $50, so $500 pays $250. So that's going to be, what, $12 in VIG. All right, so there's our 5. $12 in VIG. There we go. Looking for a 7. Got a 10. Got a 5. Got a 5. Oh, we got a 4. All right. So we're going to get knocked off for our 500. All right, so I would normally go 150. So that means I'm going to go 1,500, which there's no way I would be able to do at my casino on the Victory. So 1,500 is going to pay 750, right? 750 is going to be 32. Is that right? 35, 37, right? 37. All right, so there's 25, 35, 6 and 7. There we go. 7 out. All right, I'm gonna have to take stock of where we are after this one. All right, so the 150 on the 9 is gonna pay us 100. We'll take that. Put this back in our rack. And we're gonna pay out the 37 to get 750. So it's gonna pay us 5, 6, 7, 50. All right, let's take stock of where we are and just kind of see, because I really don't know. All right, so we got, I guess I should have lammers in here. So there's 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,200. We got 300 out there, so that's 2,500. All right, and then we got 3,500, 4,500, 5,000. So we're up 100, 200, 300 and change. All right, not bad. Looking for 1,000. Here we go. Coming out. 9, Neener. All right, so we're back on the 9, and that's going to be 150 in lay odds. And we'll do it over here again, towards the dealer. Here we go. And we got a 2. All right, so that is roll number 2. And we got a 3 on roll number 3. And we got a 9 on roll number 4. Okay, so we're off the 9. We're going to lose that 150. Coming out. Roll number 5. 10 down at the end. All right, so we're on the 10. We are set here. So normally that would be $20. So we're going to do $200 and lay odds. Here we go. And we got a 7 out. All right, so it's going to pay us 100 on our 200. Still down 100 on that one, or down 50, I guess. All right, 6 is the point. On the 6, start our counter again. Here we go. And we got a 7 right away. So we're off the 6. Reset our counter. Here we go. And we got a 10, 64. All right, so we're on the 10. And we'll start our counter here. $200 in lay odds. Here we go. 7 out. PSO on the 10. All right. Back to our profitability, I would say. Okay, here we go. Coming out. Reset our counter. 10 again. 64. All right, back on the 10. We'll start our counter. $200 in lay odds. There we go. 7 out. PSO on the 10 once again. All right. Oh, we're at 100. So I need, let's see, we'll take 500 there and 500 there. So we'll take those two. And I'm going to pay myself 100. Okay, so I'll put those there. And there's 500 and 400, okay? And we're all set. Here we go. Coming out. 8. 8 is great. All right, so we're on the 8, and all we're doing is counting. We got our counter in there for first roll. Second roll is a 4. There we go. That's good. Now let's see if we can get 3 more before 7. 3 more rolls, that is. And there's a 5. Roll number 3. And there's an 8, roll number 4. That's also going to be the point. And we're coming out on roll number 5. We got a 9, 63, nice. All right, so we're on the 9. That's going to be normally a $15, so it's going to be a 150 lay odds on the 9. And since we had the 4 and now we're up to 5 rolls, we would normally do 50 out here, so we're going to do 500. And that's $12 VIG, right? So we got $12 for 250. All right, here we go. See what we can do. Oh, we got a 4 again. All right, so we're going to lose our 500 plus our VIG. All right, so then we would go out for 150 or 1500, pay 750, and what do we say that was? 35, 37. There we go. Yo 11. Eight, 62. 10, 64. 7 out, 52. All right. Okay, so we're off the 9. That 150 is going to pay us 100. And we'll take that, put it back in our rack. And that 1500 is going to pay us 750. So yeah, again, I could never play this on victory, but all right, so that's going to pay us 5, 6, 7, 50. Pretty common to get up to the 150 level, or in this case 1500. Going for the 250, which I did yesterday, that's uncommon, but again, that was my own fault. I take responsibility for that because I pushed the lay 4 before I really had, per the strategy anyway, that opportunity, the right opportunity for that. All right, let's just see what we got. Curious. All right, so we got 1,000, and we got, let's take 100 over here. All right, so there's 2,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. So we got 500, 600, 700, 800, and change. All right, so we're close to our $1,000 that we're looking for. Okie doke. So we'll go back out for our 150 do we don't. There we go, coming out. And we got a 9, 63. All right, so that's going to be a $150 lay odds. Would normally be 15. Adding a 0 to everything. And there's our 7 out. Just like downtown. All right, so that 150 is going to pay us 100. There we go. We'll take that, put it back in our rack. So we're $100 away from our win goal. Here we go, coming out. 4. Okay, so we're on the 4. Normally that would be a $20 lay odds, so it's going to be 200. Adding a 0. Looking for a 7, and there it is, 6-1. We're all done. Session complete. 200 is going to pay us 100. We can roll everything up because we are done and made our win goal. What was that? What time did we start? 9 after? And now it's 19:24. So 15 minutes. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, so let's count up the nickels. All right, so there's $50. And what do we got here? 100, 200, 300, 350, 300. All right, and what do we got here? All right, so we got 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. There is $1,052. 15 minutes. I know it's boring. Such a boring strategy. Just no fun at all. Don't know why anybody would want to do it. Not sure. Hey, good morning, Jay. But anyway, that shows the scalability, and if you have a $5,000 bankroll and you want to get $1,000, to me that's a pretty good way to do it. Good afternoon. Yes, it is afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you doing today? Yeah, that's my opinion. Yeah. So at the beginning of this, I said, my trip report from yesterday was I was in for I screwed up, and I take responsibility for that. I was in for 500. I was up my $100 in an hour, but then I wanted to try to win one more. Right? It's always that one more that trips me up. One more win to get a little more money for the dealers. And sure enough, and I only bet on myself. I did not bet on anybody else. Sure enough, I was on something, 5 or 9 probably, and I lost it. I hit the point, so I lost my lay odds, and I immediately went on the lay 4 for $51, which I shouldn't have done. I should have waited. But anyway, subsequently I rolled a 4. I got knocked off for my 51. I put out my 150. I got knocked off of the 150, another 4, and then I hit my point. And I didn't immediately go back out for the 250. I hit my point, and I'm just like, all right, I got to do it. And I put my 250 out there on a lay 4, and at that point, that would have been $400 of my bankroll. Yes, I was up a little over 100, but I had $400 riding out there, right? So, but I got lucky, and I hit the 7. So that put me back to even, and then even plus a little bit. And then I went and I just grinded it out, the strategy, and I never had another 4 where I had to chase like that. So an hour and 15 minutes later, I was up $200. I put a lay 4 out there, and I won it. And I told the dealers just to keep the 25 as the tip, and then color me up. So I was in for 500, out for 701. Yeah, and actually other than that, chasing that 4, I was really never down below my initial $500. So, and again, I'm just following the strategy. And if I had waited, rather than just immediately going out on the lay 4, if I had waited for that first 4 and then started it, I never would have been out more than the 150, right? I wouldn't have had to go out for the 250, because after the 2 4s, there was a 7. So anyway, I think this is a solid strategy. Not everybody can play it, obviously, because not everybody can play the do-we-don't. But yeah, I like it. And this was my 3rd time on Victory playing this strategy. I played other strategies there with, sometimes I won, sometimes I lost. But this is, and it's only 3 times, so it's only 3 data points. So it's not, it's not statistically significant. But all 3 of them were winners, so I'm really happy with it. And I just rolled out a few minutes ago the What Would Waylon Do, which is basically the same strategy but at a $5,000 level. And we made our $1,000 in 15 minutes. So, I know it's boring, but I'll take this kind of boring every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Yes, they do allow a do-we-don't on the Victory. And I think most Vegas casinos do. I know you can't on the electronic machines, but most of the places I've played with the do-we-don't, like in Tucson I played it, because generally what happens is they'll give me crap for not betting on the player ahead of me or behind me, that just before me. And so I say, well, can I do a do-we-don't? And nobody's ever said no. So yeah, and even on Royal Caribbean and Carnival, I've done a do-we-don't, no problem, and they don't have a problem. So, which is phenomenal, really. I mean, I think it really, yes, you're giving up the pass line, advantage on the 7s and 11s, but you're eliminating so much churn, and that churn is what eats into your bankroll, right? So yeah, you may get a couple 3 7s on the come out, and go, yeehaw, yeehaw, you know, that's great. And it is good. But, you know, when you get wiped out on the board after you put a come bet out or your place bets out, you know, that takes that away pretty fast. Oh, it is. Okay, good. Yeah, I haven't really seen a lot of do we don't strategies out there, and I certainly haven't seen them on the table when I've been playing. I'm pretty much the only one that does it. But yeah, and I was trying to tell Leon, who is the guy standing next to me, super nice guy. He's always there on the weekends, that he should be doing that. You know, he should be doing the do we don't. And he was like, no, I don't want to give up those come out 7s and 11s. I'm like, all right. So every time there was a 7 or 11, I looked at him. I go, and that's why you keep doing it, and that's why you're doing it. And he would just smile and shake his head. But yet you look at his stack, and his stack was just going down and down and down. You know, it's like, yeah, I understand that, but you know, if you can't get a long enough run to press your bets and take down some, you know, profit, doesn't matter. You're just going to get whacked, and he did. Yeah, right. No, everybody's got their own way, and Leon and I talked about that. I mean, and I think that's really the beautiful thing about craps too, is there are a lot of ways to, you can play it pretty much any way, right? And there are a lot of ways to win, no matter how you're playing it. So, you know, if you find something that works for you, by all means. But yeah, that was also kind of to what your point is. Good, yeah, good luck telling anybody else how to bet, and I never would anyway. But their I don't know what the right word is. Their belief that what they're doing is mathematically sound is very interesting. You know, so. I guess to your same point, everybody has a different perspective of what math is and how it applies, how probability applies to craps. So, yeah, it's definitely, I love it. I love craps. I love playing the game, but yeah, it's a fun one. But anyway, I will like it much more when I can just go around the corner to my local casino and play a little bit and go home, and I'm not trapped on the boat for half a day. But anyway, all right. Well, I just wanted to come and report how I did. Thank you guys, and also roll out the what would Waylon do strategy. W3D2. What would Waylon do? Anyway, or do we don't? What would Waylon do? We don't. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, right? So you get excited about that, you know, come out 7, and there may be 2 or 3, sometimes 4 or 5 even come out 7s. But, you know, if you're going to put your money out there, you know, on the box numbers or come bets, you know, you're opening yourself up to short rolls, and there's just so many more short rolls than there are long rolls. And if you're not doing a collect and press, you know, and getting your profits off the table fast, you're just going to get clobbered, and that's what you see. I mean, so I don't know how many people walked up to the table. I would say probably half a dozen, only half a dozen, so not that many in the time that I was at the table. But I can pretty much guarantee you none of them colored up. They all walked away with nothing, basically. So, all right, well, I'm going to go outside, have a cigar, and enjoy my afternoon. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your comments. I always enjoy the discussion. And I hope you guys have a great day. And we'll see you back here some point in the future. All right. Thanks, Jay. Till next time. See you, brother. Nothing but the best of luck to you. And there is a lot of luck.